Hey, welcome to the Pharmacy Residency Podcast, a member of the Pharmacy Podcast Network. I am Tony Guerra. If you have questions for me, TonyThePharmacist at gmail.com. And what I wanted to talk about is accepting an offer for an interview and the email that you want to send and what you want to make sure is in that email. And to some extent, what you want to make sure is not in that email. But I've put this free template at residency.teachable.com/p/interview. You just glide down to the content and you will see this. Okay, so I'm going to go through this two-page kind of introduction to the email. The template is there in a Word document and a PDF file. And then for those people that are actually in this interview prep and support course, they're welcome to send me what they want to send back to the preceptor. And I will make sure to correct any grammar, syntax, and issues like that. One of the kind of tragedies of this is that you may have emailed or you may email in the future an acceptance to the offer, and something in that email is either insulting or just doesn't show the professionalism that you should have. And they'll still do the 20-minute interview with you or hour-long interview with you, but you've actually, unfortunately, kind of ended your residency journey with that particular site. So please, if you're in the course, make sure to at least make sure I can get eyes on the syntax and grammar of your first email. And there are a couple of things that you want to make sure that you do with the email, because it's not just got it, okay, I'll be there. There are some really easy ways to mess this up. Just besides even not looking in your spam folder and noticing that you have a residency offer there. Okay. Well, let's get into it. This is just a quick two-pager. So sending an email to confirm a residency interview. So nice work, you got your interview, but what we want to do is not just respond in immediately, yay, great, I'll take it. We want to make sure everything is on the up and up. So first thing, your subject line, I would recommend at a minimum you put PGY interview for your name. I would also put your College of Pharmacy, and the reason that you want to do this is that this is going to get forwarded to the other interviewers. So if you have any advocates, this kind of lets them know a heads up, hey, somebody from your college is coming. So if your college has a relationship with them, especially, I know that, for example, some residency sites will only take students from a certain college, so at least they know they're not wasting their time with this one. They may send out interviews to people from other colleges, but last year, all of the students happen to be from the exact same college. So make sure that college is in there if that's appropriate. Next, salutation. Make sure that you only use formal titles. Don't use first names, no matter how familiar you are with them. You could have had a great conversation with them. Again, this is going to go to different places. And if you put first names, what you've done is you've actually made it harder for yourself, because the RPD might now have their residents going, whoa, who's on a first name basis with this guy? Are things on the up and up with the subjectivity and objectivity of the application process. So just very simple, Dr. Jones, whatever it works out to be. In the body, usually students will miss at least one or two of these things. First of all, make sure you confirm who will be on the call if that's appropriate. They might give you this long, detailed email. If that's the case, don't tell them. You don't have to tell them again. But make sure you know the software that they're going to use, Zoom or Skype. And if they have time, you may want to ask not the RPD to do it, but maybe a resident to do it, or the residency administrator to say, hey, could I just do a 30-second, 1-minute test to make sure that I can get into the Zoom and make sure that that's going to work out, especially with Skype, something like that. Make sure you know where it's going to be. Is it virtual or in person? If it is in person, I would actually go there and make sure I know where that is. When I took the GRE, when I took PCAT, I actually went to the site a day before or a couple days before to make sure I knew where it was, exactly what the temperature was going to be like, because the last thing you want to do is go into an in-person interview where it is freezing and you are not dressed appropriately for it, or you're going to be on a walking interview and you don't have comfortable shoes. So making sure, where is it going to be? Is it going to be virtual or is it going to be in person? And then make sure you know where you're going to be. It's very unprofessional to be in certain places and very distracting. You want a nice quiet place, looks professional, whatever you can have in the background that makes it look like that. When this is an absolute tragedy. So many interviews have been missed because of time zone. And I can't tell you how hard it is to look good when you've missed your call. So you want to make sure, I just wanted to make sure it's, Central Time, Eastern Time, Pacific, or what's the other one? I don't remember. Anyway, make sure you've got the time, Mountain Time. Make sure you have the time zone for those out-of-state residencies, and then you double check that you've got everything set up for yourself. Some software will make sure to do the time zone. Other software will not. But here's just an example of what I might say. Thank you for the opportunity to interview for the blank and put in the formal residency position title. I just wanted to confirm that I would, and you don't have to put, I would love to interview if that's not your personality, but I would be very interested in the interview for the position. I want to confirm that this interview will include a meeting with, put the names of the people and spell them right. Via, make sure you have the software right. Interview at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. What time zone? On, then month, day, year. It's rare, but sometimes they mess up the time and date. And by having an email, all is well. You'll get another chance. It was their fault. But if it's your fault, then that shows, if you can't make it to the interview, how are you going to make it to a code on time? Those are the types of things they might think. All right. And this is something that I really recommend that most people don't do. If no one shows up to a Zoom meeting, you need to know who to call. So you really want to ask for a return receipt and a cell phone request because you're assuming that they got the email. And if they didn't give you a return receipt and you sent it, but they didn't get it, then you may be out of luck. And a cell phone request. Who do I call if there's a problem? So I just put something like, please let me know if there's anything I need to bring to the interview that I might not already know. Could you please reply with I received your email, so I know you did, and the cell phone number of the person to call if any issues arise on the day. Okay? And then complimentary close. Don't make this crazy, but sincerely, I'm an applicant. Add the phone and email. Make sure to blind carbon copy yourself and check the grammar and syntax. If you are part of the interview support course, feel free to email me, AntonioThePharmacist@gmail.com. I'll get it back to you within 24 hours. But please, especially if you are a non-native speaker, it's not just the broken English that's an issue. It's that when you translate some things from other languages and you're too abrupt, especially if the area doesn't speak that way. So in the Northeast, we are a little bit more abrupt. We're a little bit more direct, and that might make sense. It's no big deal. You're from Jersey or New York or whatever. That's it. But if you're pulling that in the deep South, that could be considered impolite or rude. And it's not just making sure the grammar and syntax are right. It's making sure that you have not insulted the residents and the RPD, or this I see often, a word that is a homophone. The word is spelled incorrectly, so it's used, but it sounds the same. So which and which, or there, and there, THERE, THEIR, and so forth. Those are things that the grammar or syntax may not pick up. Okay, and then if you're using the free Grammarly, I have the super expensive one. So I catch those things a little bit better. And then after the interview, I can't believe how many people forget to do this. They just say thank you. But you don't want to say thank you. You want to say thank you, I'm still interested. Because remember, after the interview, there is no offer. They're going to rank you, maybe, and you're going to rank them, maybe, but there's no closure. So you need to make sure to have closure after the interview. I just wanted to let you know that I'm still interested in the position. And then I provided 2 actual templates for this. So the sample interview confirmation letter template, if you're accepting it. So subject, PGY1 ambulatory interview for Tony Guerra, University of Potomac River College of Pharmacy. Dear Doctor, you're a director. Thank you for the invitation to interview for the PGY1 in ambulatory care at Potomac River University Health. I appreciate the opportunity, and I look forward to meeting with you and Dr. Roberts via Zoom for a virtual interview at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. What this also does is allows them to let you know if there was an error. The interview is very important to me. Could you just take a moment and send a quick received email back to my email with the phone number of the person whom I should call if there are any technology issues on the day? Sincerely, I'm an applicant. I am applicant@prcop.edu, 410-555-1212. And then post-interview, what would you write? Something like, subject, PGY1 ambulatory interview follow-up for Tony Guerra, University of Potomac River College of Pharmacy. Dear Dr. Yura, Director, thank you for taking the time to interview me on Tuesday. I am even more excited about the residency now that I've had an in-depth opportunity to meet the current group. I'd like to affirm my strong continued interest in the program. Make sure that you do not violate the ASHP forecasts, whatever, rule that you cannot tell them they're number one. No residency site nor applicant may indicate at what someone will be ranked. And by saying you are my number one choice, you have just told them where you rank them. Please don't do that. It may result in a disqualification because there it is in writing. Both of you have it. You ranked them. You told them they were first. And now there could be the possibility of impropriety. It's kind of like that game where you have to get someone to say the word, but you can't use the word to have them say it. So, and you can only use like single words or something like that. Make sure you don't in any way say what you are going to rank them. I know you're excited. I know they're your top choice. But use synonyms to affirming my strong continued interest in the program. Let them know they're still interested in you. And hopefully, they will reply with something that says, we also have a continued interest in you. And that may sound blah, but really, that is really nice for them to say that, to say, we're going to rank you. Although I think most programs will rank everyone that aren't a total disaster. But again, the reason why you see some schools of pharmacy have a very high match rate and some don't, and both have very good interview rates, is that, and this is a tragedy, but there were 4 spots. Those other schools, the second tier schools and third tier schools, might have been 4th or 5th. But I mean, it's, if you're not first, you're last. You're out. So again, ranking matters a lot. And if you don't send them something that says, I'm still interested, well, then what you've done is you've made them question whether they should rank you and then how high they should rank you. So don't leave anything. So again, if you want to find this, it's available at the residency.teachable.com/p/interview. And then if you are working with me and in this group, I'm happy to not just this kind of correspondence, any email correspondence that you have with the residency site, I'm happy to look at. It's just very easy and very fast for me to do. And I would much rather you take another couple of minutes, an hour or so, to get me that information and to let me correct it than for you to send something that unfortunately demonstrates that you may not have the strongest command of English before they even get to know you. Okay. All right. Well, again, if you need help with the interview, residency.teachable.com/P/interview. Need help with letters of intent /extreme LOI.